Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our time series database essentials webinar series today. My name is Jim. I'm the VP of product for TDengine. Today's topic is hands-on anomaly detection with TDgpt. As you probably have heard, we released a new feature in TDengine last week that enables our users to do advanced time series analysis inside TDengine with SQL language for applications like forecasting or anomaly detection. So this week, I'm very glad to say that we have our solutions architect, Joe, is going to do a technical webinar and show you how you can do some hands-on anomaly detection using TDgpt. There will be some presentations showing the features and functions, and after that, there will be a live demo. And as a kindly reminder, at the end of today's presentation or webinar, there will be a Q&A session. So if you have any questions regarding TDgpt, the demo, the presentation, or TDengine itself, please use the chat window to ask your questions. We'll have them either answered during the session or after the session following the webinar. So at this point, I'm going to pass the presenter to Joel.
Morning, Jim. Thanks. Hi, I'm Joel Brass, Solutions Architect at TDengine, and today I'm going to be doing a hands-on demo of TDgpt's anomaly detection features. So I've given you an introduction of myself. We're also going to talk about what is anomaly detection. We'll give a small introduction to what is TDgpt, and then I'll give a demo of using TDgpt to show how easy it is to get started. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. Here's our agenda going over what we'll be going over again. So what is anomaly detection? It's identifying patterns that don't expect to the normal behavior. We can clearly see that this chair stands out here from the norm. So one way to solve that problem is to use TDgpt, our new AI agent for time series data analytics. This allows you to perform analysis and time series forecasting, along with imputation and classification on your time series database directly in TDengine. Or we also have an open SDK that you'll be able to add your own models to. But we've started with a few foundational models for time series and for anomaly detection. So how exactly do you use the anomaly detection? We've implemented it as a SQL function through the anomaly window and some options. So it starts with picking the column that you're trying to detect on, and then adding in the parameters for the anomaly window. The basic options are the different algorithms, anomaly detection algorithms, and windows, different things like that. So here's a short example of how to use it, but we'll dig into this a little bit more. So visually, this is a bit more what an anomaly detection can look like when you're looking in a time window and seeing where something jumps out beyond the norm. And you can use normal where clauses on your data to limit the scope of your query. And currently, this is supported on existing data or historical data, but we'll be adding in stream processing next quarter. So TDgpt comes with a few models built in for anomaly detection and forecasting. We've already released 6 models, and we'll be adding almost a dozen more in the next few quarters. In anomaly detection algorithms. But I have a list here of both the forecasting and anomaly detection algorithms. So let's talk a little bit more about our demo today. Here we have an overview of the architecture, and what we'll be looking at is AWS EC2 instance data that represents instance metrics, and what we're looking for are failures. This information will be fed into our TDengine database with TDgpt built into it with the AI agent, which will then be displaying on Grafana to see that when the anomalies are detected. All right, so let's switch over to our demo here. So I've got my, let's see here, IDE here. I've checked out the repository that we'll be sharing at the end of the webinar. You can run this demo completely on your own. It's pretty easy to get started. You should be able to get this running in 10 minutes or so without a lot of wasted time. But once you check out the repository through a git clone, you'll cd into the repository where you've checked it out to, and we'll be using Docker to run the demo. In order to run the demo, you'll need to have a Docker or Docker desktop installed. And let's see. And another thing to be looking for is if you're, let's say, on a Mac with a M1 or M2, M3 processor, an ARM-based processor, you want to make sure that you set the platform correctly here in the Docker Compose file. So this demo and TDgpt does support ARM processors, but for this demo, and if you're running it in Docker, you'll have to make sure to set the right platform here. So I'm also going to just make sure I've set permissions on the analyze file, and then we should be ready to go with our Docker Compose up, which actually runs the Docker containers. So the 3 Docker containers that were mentioned in the slide before. And if this is your first time running it, it may take a little longer to get started because Docker will have to pull the images first. So while I'm still here in the IDE, I can just do a Docker PS to make sure everything is running. It looks like it is here. My TDgpt instance, the TDengine, and Grafana. So I have to now run a command to tell TDengine about the TDgpt node being available. And now I'm going to just copy some files from our repository. So I have the demo data here, the EC2 failure data, which I'll copy into the TDengine instance. Actually copying the analyze script so that that can run, copying in the data. And then I'm going to run a script to actually import all of the EC2 failure data into TDengine. So you can see how quickly TDengine imported 4,000 rows into TDengine. So those were all of our setup steps in order to get ready to perform the analysis in our local instance. And so now I can switch to Grafana. Stop sharing this and share.
And by the way, so all these steps are available in our technical blog, right, Joe?
Yes.
Mhm.
So Grafana, it is now running on my local instance. So we'll log in with the default username admin. It's going to prompt me to change that. I'll skip for now. This is only running on a local instance. And so I'm going to add a new dashboard for the data. So in the demo, TDengine is already connected to Grafana, and I'll add the dashboard by importing it directly from the code that we shared. It's in the demo dashboards folder. You'll find a file called EC2 instance, EC2 failure anomaly.json, which I've uploaded here, dragged and dropped into Grafana, and now I'm importing it. Oh, and we're seeing the data that was imported in the last step. So these are the metrics for our value. So we have a value with the failure rate here from our demo EC2 failure table. And so now I'm going to begin forecasting with the K-sigma anomaly detection algorithm. And I'll run this in the back in my console. And so in the console, I can see it's running some SQL queries, running analysis here on with the K-sigma parameters and looking at some weekly timeframes to add in the anomaly detection. And you can see the anomalies are now starting to appear here in Grafana as it goes through and inserts the anomalies that it has detected into another table, or into another table that Grafana is also querying on. So the script is inserting records into the failure table and as the anomalies. So we can also run another analysis using the Grubs algorithm for detecting anomalies, which I'll run now. So this is inserting into the other analysis table. It's finding other failures with the Grubs values, with the Grubs anomalies detected here in blue.
And this is a different algorithm?
Yes, this is a different algorithm from the list of available algorithms. This is the Grubs test. The first one was a K-sigma test. And so these have now been written into another table that is being visualized here. So the results of the analysis were written into new tables, but there was an EC2 failure K-sigma result table, which are the yellow dots, visualized as the yellow dots, and EC2 failure Grubs result, which are blue dots. And so the user would create their own tables for anomaly detection results based on their parameters. And that is the meat of our demo. Were there any questions that were popping in yet, Jim?
Yeah, there's one question asking about will we send the repo information via email to the participants?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll share that after the webinar, and we'll also share the linked blog article that has a tutorial on how to do this as well.
Yeah, Joe, maybe you can share just the link to the article on the screen, just so everyone have an understanding of where to find it.
Sure. Actually, I can pull it up here. So this is in an article here. I don't know if you can see. Oh, yeah, you can see the URL in the top, but it's on the TDengine.com, and it's anomaly detection in IT monitoring with TDgpt.
Yeah. And if you want to know more about TDgpt, Joe, you can hover over the top menu bar, the solution. If you hover over the solutions, yes.
Yep.
We have a web page about TDgpt. That's all you need to know about this new feature. And as you scroll down to the page, right now there are 3 examples. And today, the one that Joe went through is one of those 3 examples of blog articles, right?
Mm.
And if you further scroll down, you will see the 3 sort of industry use cases.
Yeah, this is using a different algorithm here. There's a few different demos, but yeah, this is the CPU usage data demo.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be going through more of these in the coming weeks in our time series essentials webinar series.
Mm-hmm. All right. Another question that's coming in is TDgpt open source?
Yeah, so TDgpt and the components are a part of the open source version of TDengine, and it is we have the open source models included with it, and we've developed our own time series foundational model. In the future, you'll be able to also add in your own models and algorithms as well.
Yeah, and we'll definitely have a few more technical sessions or webinars on the TDgpt topic moving forward. So this will be the first technical session. Jeff, our founder of TDengine, did an introduction webinar of TDgpt last week. If you want to have access to that, you can go to our YouTube channel, and it will be the recording of that webinar is already uploaded to our YouTube channel, or you can send us an email. We'll send you those recordings so you can have a more comprehensive understanding of what TDgpt is and what you can do with it.
Awesome.
All right. And so
let me check.
Yeah.
Got the repo question.
Step by step. And in your understanding, Joe, for the forecasting, what's the difference between using TDgpt for forecasting and anomaly detection? Is it a similar process, or is it just using different expressions or algorithms?
Similar process, just using different arguments and different window parameters. They both have windows and take different parameters around the different models, but they're also very easy to use in the context of querying.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and there's also a question asking about the time series foundation model. Are we going to have a webinar for that in the future?
Oh, I'd like to. Yeah, let's do that next. Get that on the schedule. Yeah, just to talk a bit more about how that works, and then show some more use cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also some questions about the meaning of TDgpt. Are we connected with large language models? So I can take that briefly. So for TDgpt, we do support a number of large language models, but as we have tested out, what we found out is that with the time series foundation models, you can actually get a much more accurate result, and also it's more cost efficient on the computation side compared to some of the generic sort of large language model when you're dealing with time series data. Is that right, Joel?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And so we do support like large language models, but we also highly encourage you to try out some of the time series foundation models. We also support a number of those time series data foundation models from other platforms. Like for example, there's one from Salesforce that we also support on our configuration that you can try out. We also have built our own proprietary time series foundation model that you can use in your different applications as well, right? So these are the things that we will talk about in the subsequent technical webinar that's going to come up in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, we're definitely very excited to have released this new feature, and we think it definitely makes incorporating potential AI machine learning algorithms, different algorithms into your time series analysis much more easier, much more easily than you could do before, and everything is done through a SQL statement. So it's you can do everything in TDengine, and that is one of the benefits of introducing this TDgpt. All right, I think that's the end of today's webinar. Thank you everyone for your participation. Thank you, Joe, for the interesting demo. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Jim. See you next week.
See you. Bye. Have a good
Bye.
one.